Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another season of Uun Airlines NASCAR Truck Series Racing. We open up our season once again from the high banks of Daytona International Speedway, a very fun racetrack to all series on the NASCAR schedule. But tonight, it is about the Uun Airlines Truck Series to open their second season. Last year was a wild one. Andy Jankowiak dominated the first two stages, remember that? But then got wrecked out in the middle of the final stage. There was quadruple overtime. It was a wild one here last year. Multiple cautions, more than 10 cautions, may I put it that way. Earlier today, qualifying took place, and it was Nick Sanchez, who DNQ'd for this race a season ago, picks up his first career pole here at the Daytona, here on the high banks of Daytona. He was quick today with a 49.55 was the pole today for Nick Sanchez out from down south in Miami. Nick Sanchez picks up his first career pole. All the teams are ready. All the drivers are ready. All the fans are excited. All the trucks are gridded. So let's go trackside to fire the engines. Drivers, start your engines. The drivers just cranked up their trucks for 250 miles, 100 laps of Uun Airlines Truck Series racing tonight. I am excited, glad to have you here. We're all excited for Uun Airlines Truck Series to open up their second season. Mentioned earlier that Nick Sanchez won the pole. Let's check out our Let's check out our starting lineup, brought to you by Original Big Shot Bob's. Nick Sanchez is on the pole, and alongside him, Ty Majeski. Ty Majeski had a solid year last year. Let's dial up Nick Sanchez. Hey Nick, it's Declan up here in the booth. You got me? Yep. You went from DNQing to this race a season ago, sitting on the pole. I know this isn't your home track. Your home track is down in Miami, but it's still a track in your home state. So what's it like to win your first career pole at not only a track in your home state, but at the world center of racing? Yeah, it's just awesome. We just had a really fast truck today in practice and also in qualifying. I felt like I got a little nervous when the 98 was creeping up on me there at the end. And just able to hold on and get this pole. Let's take a look at the rest of our starting lineup. Row 2, we've got the 51 of Chase Purdy, and 51 of Chase Purdy, and the 19 of Christian Eckes, who qualified fourth. Back to row 3, we've got Matt Crafton, and then Corey LaJoie, who qualified fifth, but had to change an engine sensor, so he will drop to the rear for tonight's race. Back to row 4, we got the 1 of Tony Breidinger and the 25 of Ty Dillon, a nice qualifying effort. And to round out the top 10, we've got the 42 of Matt Mills and the 4 of Raja Caruth. 2 trucks to the rear tonight, Corey LaJoie, we already mentioned him, and also the 43 of Daniel Dye, also for unapproved adjustments. Here we come. All the people in the stands are excited. We're all excited. as here they come, this time by Pace Truck makes the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. 20 laps stage 1, 20 laps stage 2, 60 laps sprint to the finish. Here they come, the drop of the green flag. We are underway at Daytona. Good launch from the outside line. 51 of Purdy moves up to the outside. The 98 of Ty Majeski was in the middle there. Majeski's going to get a big push on the bottom from Nick Sanchez. Majeski's going to clear Sanchez, but that's going to back up the outside line. And how about the one of Tony Breidinger making her way up there? We saw how fast her truck was today in qualifying. Tony Breidinger, and then the 25 of Ty Dillon also in that top line. How about a good run for him? Would be nice to see in his first career start here in the Uun Airlines NASCAR Truck Series. Making their way off turn 4, getting shuffled out. Dillon's going to go 3 wide. And it's going to be 3 wide for second, but Matt Crafton will prevail on that top line. Purdy will lead, but Purdy gets slipped back, and that allows Breidinger to take the lead. Man, what a story it would be if Tony Breidinger could make some noise here in her first career Uun Airlines Truck Series start. As Purdy's slipping back a little bit, we got some action here. Tyler Ankrum in the middle. Ankram's going to get bumped, and he goes around. We had a spin. Tyler Ankrum goes around the 35 truck. Keith McGee, into the outside wall. Tyler Ankrum hard into the inside wall. As the first caution of the night is out here on lap 2. Corey LaJoie, I mentioned he had to go to the back to start tonight's race. Corey LaJoie, the 7 truck. The 7 truck of Corey LaJoie he just takes a light spin through the grass. No harm, no foul there whatsoever, but you see big damage to the 35 of Tyler Ankrum. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the night for Tyler and those guys. Also, the 22 truck of Keith McGee. Just light damage by the looks of it, but he is stuck in the grass. I think the night might be done for the 22. The 42 of Matt Mills, we got hood flying up on that truck. With all this damage and calamity, however, with an early caution, we think maybe pit strategy could play a role in tonight's race. It is currently lap 3. The truck's all getting shuffled out. They're all getting shuffled out. Ready for this restart is taking some pace laps under yellow. Caution flag early. Caution flag early here at Daytona. Tony Breidinger leads 4 laps in. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. As we have just gotten the choose, we are getting ready to go green. Let's take a look at what happened here. So, Ankrum in the middle, getting shuffled out in between a couple trucks, getting banged up in the middle, and then just gets loose, hooks into Keith. Corey just an innocent bystander, and Matt Mills in the 42 truck had nowhere to go. Matt Mills is still on pit road. He is on the DVP clock. Tyler Ankrum and just gotten word Tyler Ankrum and Keith McGee, their nights are both finished. Corey LaJoie with that light spin, he will be able to continue. A couple trucks took to pit road. One of those was the 25 of Ty Dillon, who was running up inside the top 5. And I heard he just took fuel only. So maybe some interesting strategy. Remember, I mentioned strategy right when that yellow came out, but there was some talk whether what could happen here. All different strategies. Here they come back to green, racing again at Daytona. As they're getting stacked up on the restart, maybe that outside line didn't get going. It's going to allow Matt Crafton to prevail on that line. Someone didn't get going, and Nick Sanchez, the pole sitter's up there still. How about Lane Riggs? Haven't talked about him in that bright yellow number 38 truck. Can't miss it. And how about Stephen Parsons up there in the top 5 as well, riding that outside line. Stephen Parsons riding the outside line, lined up right behind Lane. As Matt Crafton makes his way off of turn 4, they're getting shuffled out through the tri-oval this time to make it lap number 6 at Daytona. As they're getting way shuffled out. The three trucks up front have come into a draft here. 2 of those being Fords, the other one being the Chevy pole sitter of Nick Sanchez, wedged in between those 2 blue ovals. Crafton's now going to go to the inside line and open up for Sanchez on the bottom, with Sanchez's help from the 38 of Lane Riggs up high. We knew this race was going to get wild from the get-go. We saw how aggressive they were racing before that first yellow came out. We got a truck slow on the apron. I believe that's the 34 of Jason White. Maybe something going wrong with that truck, but he's going to keep it going. He's going to bring it to pit road. They're going to probably check the hood as Crafton now gets down low, and that's going to allow Christian Eckes to take that 3rd spot away in that 19 truck. Raja Caruth, the 4 truck, started in the 10th position, lined up right behind Eckes. And that HendrickCars.com number 4. Sanchez, the pole sitter, clear out front. Lane Riggs is in 2nd right now. Crafton's now going to file up. Looking now to see some single file racing. Grant Enfinger is now leading that inside line, but that inside line is going to be losing some stuff, as I see here. Oh, Lane Riggs gets shot up high. And back in this 3-wide pack, Christian Eckes makes his way to 2nd. Nick Sanchez still way out front. And look at that. Look at how tight they are on that outside line. 2 trucks on the 3rd line up high. The 38 of Lane Riggs, and now Christian Eckes is going to slide up. The 24 of Jack Wood and the 52 of Stuart Friesen are also back there in that way outside line of Sanchez with an electrifying performance here. An electrifying performance here way out in front of the pack. How about that inside line starting to come back to life with the 9 of Grant Enfinger? Tom Lejeski is now there. Riggs is now going to file right in on that outside line, right behind the 75 of Stephen Parsons. As they fan out into turn 1 here. Truck may be stuck in the middle of the 2 lines in turn 2. I believe that's the 20 of Greg Van Alst who had a shout out in qualifying today. Qualified inside the top 15. As they all get shuffled out, maybe into 3 lines here. The pack is coming here. We're just getting word Tyler Ankrum and Keith McGee have both been checked and released from the infield care center, so nice to know that they're both okay. 42 of Matt Mills has made his way back out onto the track. He is currently 3 laps down. Look at how tight they are on that outside line. As we got lap 10 here. Sanchez, I've been looking at the tracker, and he's been kind of losing that lead. We got a stack up on the bottom. Eckes is going low. 19 of Christian Eckes gets shoved down low. as here they are. Here they are racing. It is now lap 10. It'll be coming to 10 laps to go in our opening stage, this time by Nick Sanchez. 10, 11 laps to go. Coming back, 10 laps to go. Stage 1. Nick Sanchez leads. Grant Enfinger second. Matt Crafton third. Tanner Gray fourth. And Stephen Parsons is fifth. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, as we have 9 laps to go in our opening stage. We have 9 laps to go in our opening stage. Make that 8 to go in our opening stage. The one of Tony Breidinger made some noise before that first yellow. She is now on pit road. Eight laps to go in our opening stage. Nick Sanchez still leads. He has led the most laps tonight. As Grant Enfinger has made his way up into second, the ThorSport teammates lined up behind him in the 98 of Ty Majeski and the 88 of Matt Crafton. 75 of Stephen Parsons is in that Ballpark Buns and Rolls number 75 truck. He's making some noise tonight, having a nice run up inside the top 5. He goes into third now. Nick Sanchez still way out front, but this mighty pack is closing on him. This mighty pack with that outside line, but the lines have gotten broken up just a little bit. Yes, the draft will obviously, with this being a drafting race, draft will obviously be a huge feature in tonight's event. We got a truck slow on the apron. I don't know who that is. 6 to go in our opening stage. 6 to go, stage 1. Nick Sanchez still way out front. This dominance is going to maybe soon come to an end for the 2 truck once we get this stage yellow. Since the 2 truck is way out front, let's take a look at what's going on mid-pack. Going on a little further back, we got another ThorSport truck has entered the picture in the 99 of Ben Rhodes. The 99 of Ben Rhodes is we got a stack up here 4 wide. The 15 of Tanner Gray is going to now do something here. They're going 3 wide through the tri-oval with 5 to go in stage 1. As now they're not 4 wide anymore. They're back to 3 wide, but that outside line has been well structured in this entire run here. I feel like now the only truck that has the capability of catching Nick Sanchez is that 9 of Grant Enfinger. He's been turning some pretty fast laps these last couple times by. Sanchez still way out front. The 9 of Enfinger in second. Matt Crafton. What I'm really focused on here, what I find entertaining more than the top two, is the battle for third that is currently going on between Crafton and those couple ThorSport trucks and the 4 of Raja Karuth, who just stepped into the picture. How about him up there? Nice run for Raja. The 2 truck. Oh, he gets checked up just a little bit. That's going to allow Grant to maybe get a little momentum and maybe pass him down the back straightaway. Coming to 3 laps to go. Grant's going to hook onto the back of the 2 truck of Sanchez. And that's going to propel Sanchez forward as we got another tandem drafting duo. Another tandem drafting duo, the 4 of Raja Karuth and the 88 of Matt Crafton, second and third, respectively. These top 2 are now locked onto each other, but it's only going to be a matter of time before the third and fourth place drivers find their way around. As here comes the field, coming to lap the 42 of Matt Mills once again. He is slow with that damage from that incident earlier. 2 of Sanchez coming back to 2 to go in stage 1. Sanchez and Enfingers, we got Tanner Gray and Stephen Parsons battling up there. As 2 formerly structured lines, they are now put together. But the 9 of Enfinger is going to lose some big momentum, and he's about to get passed by that drafting duo of the 88 of Matt Crafton, as well as the 4 of Raja Karuth. Karuth's now going to back up to Tanner Gray. Now midway in between those trucks. As here they come back around, this time by to be the final lap of stage 1. 2 to go. Nick Sanchez way out front. We saw this with Chase Purdy in last year's race. Got way out front at the end of stage 1, but never was just up there. But just was never up there again. So, final lap, stage 1, lap 20 of 100 in tonight's race. Enfinger is now locked onto his former teammate, Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton, remember Grant drove for ThorSport a couple of seasons ago. He's now locked onto him, but I don't think they will be able to catch that 2 truck of Nick Sanchez. 38 Elaine Riggs getting shoved in the middle between those 2 lines just a little bit. They come off off of turn number 4. Coming off of turn number 4, it will be an easy stage win for the driver out of Miami, Nick Sanchez, from the pole to the stage 1 win. Sanchez gets it done at stage 1 at Daytona. As the caution now flies, for signaling the end of stage number 1. Pit stops now here. Pit stops now about to go on here. As we got the trucks coming to pit road this time. We got, the 2 of Nick Sanchez on pit road here. Obviously with that massive lead. He's got to capitalize and have a great pit stop here. Check out here. Race off of pit road. Obviously Sanchez wins. Enfinger goes a couple in the wrong direction. We're going to see how that plays out. No surprise, Nick Sanchez with that huge lead wins the race off of pit road. The thing is, if we get a caution in the middle of stage 2 here, we will see some varying strategies. As as we step aside here from Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as we are here for the 2024 running of the Uun Airlines 250 here at Daytona. Here they come, back to green in stage number 2. Sanchez doesn't get as good of a start as the 15 of Tanner Gray, who's going to get propelled out to the lead. Lap 23 here. Lap 23 right here as the race goes green. Race goes green once again. They're getting shuffled out, just trying to find their lines, get ready for this run right here. Everyone trying to get in single and double file lines. A couple trucks stuck in the middle. One of them is the 75 of Stephen Parsons, as we got the 15 of Tanner Gray clear out front off of turn number 4. Battle for second, but Majeski's going to make a move to the inside. Majeski's going to battle to the inside just a little bit. Majeski is kind of there, in that number 98 truck for Thor Sport Racing. He had a solid season last year, but he's gonna maybe peek to the inside, looking for the lead here. Corey Heim lined up behind him. I haven't talked much about Corey Heim tonight, but if Corey Heim makes a statement, it might as well be Heim time here at Daytona International Speedway. Corey Heim's teammate Tanner Gray is the current leader right now, however. As here comes their 3 wide, 2 wide actually for second. Here's the 35 trucks out of the race, but I don't know how to take cars off the racetrack in this game, as they are as the 2 trucks that are low. And the 15 of Tanner Gray now is here in the race. He is continuing to lead here, coming back to lap 26 here at Daytona International Speedway. As they're 3 wide off of turn number 4. How about Clay Greenfield up there in that 84 truck for Cook Racing Technologies? Nice run for an underfunded team. DNQ'd in this race a season ago. Nice for him to make a good run and make the field. As they're mostly getting filed into a single file line back here. And this front pack is broken away just a little bit. As they're pushing it. They're pushing these trucks out to a pretty solid lead here at the Daytona International Speedway. As a couple trucks diving low. Lap 27 is now in action at Daytona International Speedway. Tanner Gray continues to lead, but here comes Gray's teammate Corey Heim. It might as well be Heim time at Daytona. Heim with a big push from the 84 of Clay Greenfield. Heim, but he's not going to quite get there. Tanner Gray has been the main threat here in this second stage to dominate, just like Nick Sanchez. Speaking of Nick Sanchez, he hasn't slipped back too far. He's riding it out. Currently in 3rd place right now, behind the 98 of Ty Majeski and Stuart Friesen. How about Brett Holmes in the 32 truck lined up right behind Stuart? They're getting They're getting a push. Majeski's going to file up into the outside line. Gray's still going to stay out front. Stay out front big. Gray, but Majeski, they're going to, unlike Nick Sanchez on the last run, the rest of the draft is able to challenge Gray for that top spot. The last thing Gray wants to see is a caution here because that would wipe away all of his dominance. Speaking of dominance in this race, Nick Sanchez, the dominant truck of the night so far, makes a pass on Ty Majeski to file up into second place. We're coming to start to begin lap 29 here at Daytona. 3 wide, this big pack in the middle, this big pack right in the middle here. Trucks running the way inside, way outside, and right in the middle. There's a third line. The 4 of Rajah Caruth is trying to start a third line with the 38 of Lane Riggs, and Caruth's Spire teammate, the 51 of Chase Purdy, is also up there in that third line. Coming back to 11 laps to go in stage 2. These stages are quick, but keep in mind it is a 60-lap sprint to the finish in stage number 3. 11 to go in stage number 2. If you look at the pack, it looks like an arrow. Those first 4 trucks, are out front just a little bit. But here comes the 43 of Daniel Dye, making a battle on this inside and outside lines here. We got a wild race going on here, coming here to start lap 31 at Daytona. Tanner Gray is continuing to dominate the second stage. The 98 of Ty Majeski is in second, but they get a big push. The 84 of Clay Greenfield, I believe made a little bit of contact with the side of the 43 of Daniel Dye. Now Daniel's starting to drop back. Daniel in that champion container 43 and Daytona native. These top 2 have broken out from the majority of the pack. As Tanner Gray makes his way off of turn 2, Oh, we got a caution out on the racetrack. Daniel Dye, the 43 truck, slow. See a tiny bit of smoke coming out of the back of that truck. Daniel, listen, he's saying, let's go back and see the replay. Let's go back and see the replay on what happened to Daniel. So he's riding, gets a little bit of, let's see what happened here. He just, blew an oil line, and then the smoke came out from under the side of that truck. As Daniel has now made his way to pit road. As here they come, this time by. It'll be 9 laps to go here in stage number 1, or stage number 2. Green flag is in the air. Green flag is back in the air. Equal pushes on the inside and the outside line is what we can see what's going to generate some runs here. Daniel Dye has taken his truck to the garage with that oil leak we heard. Ty Majeski is now going to file into line, but he's going to get shuffled out right into the middle. They're 3 wide. The 75, Stephen Parsons. How about Brett Holmes trying to start a third line up there with the 4 of Rajah Caruth? Yeah, Rajah in that last run, remember, he was the one that originally tried to start that third line. As we have 8 laps to go in stage number 2 here at the Daytona International Speedway. Majeski's now slipped back a little bit. How about the 84 truck of Clay Greenfield? 84 truck of Clay Greenfield, who has established his way on that bottom, trying to go for the lead here. Qualified all the way back in 31st place. But Daytona with the draft, keep in mind, with the draft here, anything is possible, as Greenfield might as well just take the lead here off of turn 4. Gray's going to get stacked up just a little bit, but yes, how about this? Clay Greenfield DNQ'd for this race a season ago, and he's going to go ahead and lead the first lap of his career. 7 to go in stage number 2. As that inside line is pretty well structured. That outside line is too. The third line has not had many takers. The 32 Brett Holmes is up there on that outside line. Clay Greenfield right in front of the 2 of Nick Sanchez. As we have 7, coming back to 6 laps to go here in stage number 2. Keep in mind, these are some quick stages, but it is 60 laps in that final stage. 6 to go in stage 2. As there now, Raja Caruth has made his way second on that inside line. Second on the middle lane behind the 84 of Clay Greenfield. Greenfield now getting some pressure from the 2 of Nick Sanchez. That inside line is pretty well structured. They are now going to shuffle out those 2 dominant trucks, the 15 of Tanner Gray and the 2 of Nick Sanchez. We know how fast their trucks have been all night long. Those 2 have been the 2 fastest trucks all night. As we are coming back, 5 laps to go, stage number 2. Nick Sanchez is in second, battling with Ty Majeski for the second spot. Nick Sanchez, winner of the first stage, is now Tanner Gray is going to get jumbled up into that middle lane. That's what a caution could do. Now Sanchez goes up there. Sanchez is going to stay, but Sanchez is going to go down, but Gray's going to stay up into that top line. The 4 of Raja Caruth now forming a third line with the 38 of Lane Riggs is now up there. Coming back to 4 laps to go here in our second stage. Here in our second stage. 4 to go. We got 2 trucks. 2 trucks, the 98 and the 2. So we got a 3-wide battle for that 4th spot, the 52 of Stuart Friesen and the 11 of Corey Heim. As they're getting shuffled out very squirrely on that bottom line. Coming back to 3 laps to go, Greenfield is now going to make his way out front there in this draft. Three laps to go in stage number 2, but that middle lane is very well in place, but the bottom is starting to lose people. Battle for the lead here. Ty Majeski's going to look inside of Clay Greenfield for the top spot. Corey Heim is now going to, who's second on the inside line, is now going to file back. Is going to file up into that top line and into that second line. As we come back to 2 laps to go here in stage number 2 at Daytona, as we got a truck slow on the apron. That's Stuart Friesen coming to pit road. Oh, you see Stuart. See what happened here. Stuart just on that bottom line gets banged up just a little bit. He thought he was going to spin out, but he saves it and brings it to pit road. Here in his radio, I think he might have flat spotted the tires on that truck. As we're coming back to the final lap of stage number 2. final lap of stage number 2. Majeski is now going to file behind. Nick Sanchez is behind the 84 of Clay Greenfield. What a story this would be if Clay could win this stage. Drivers jockeying for every position to try and get inside that top 10. Side by side for second. This could be an intense battle for the lead. Coming off of turn number 4. As they are three abreast. No, they are 3 locked together. These are the only 3 that are still in contention to win stage number 2. Coming off turn 4. This time by. Will Nick Sanchez have him? No, he doesn't. Clay Greenfield wins the second stage at Daytona. Now the caution will fly. P-I-N-K. As we got, sorry about that, but we got trucks coming to the pit lane right now. Here they come to pit road. Here they come to pit road, this time by Clay Greenfield, the 84 truck. They're gonna have some pit stops. Coming this time, they're gonna make their way out for the pit lane. As they are coming off pit lane, we got a truck got spun around in his pit stall. That is the 34 of Jason White. He's gonna get it spun back around. I'm going to get it spun around and get it back rolling. And he makes his way back out onto the racetrack. Let's see what happened here. They're trying to come out of their pit stall, and Jason's trying to get in and just get spun right into his stall. As here they come, this time by to start the final stage. Green flag is in the air. We've had a relatively clean race up to this point. Let's see what can happen here in this final stage. Anything can happen, as it is lap 43 here at the Daytona International Speedway. As we got to check up on the restart. Big multiple trucks with damage, including the 97 of Cody Rohrbach and the 56 of Timmy Hill, who's got some smoke coming out. Makes his way to the pit lane. We're hearing Timmy actually might have gotten into the 34 of Jason White and spun him into his pit stall, and that got him into a bad spot. Timmy Hill has taken his truck to the garage, so he is out of the race for tonight. As it is lap 44. We're not even halfway done with this race yet. Not even halfway done with this race yet, and it's already been very chaotic. As here they come off of turn number 4. It will be lap 45. This time by Lap 45. The 5 of Dean Thompson's up there. The 2 of Nick Sanchez is now going to get filed back into line. That's going to allow the 23 of Andres Perez de Lara. Haven't said his name at all tonight. He's going to be second on the outside, in the inside line, as we got the second line with the 84 truck of Greenfield leading it. Greenfield it's been a great story tonight. Qualified back in the 31st position, but he's made his way up leading laps here, and he won stage number 2. It is now lap 46 here at Daytona. They're now 3 abreast through the majority of the pack here. Majority of the pack here is now 3 abreast. Is now 3 abreast. They're fighting for the top spot. Here comes Sanchez back to the inside. We know how fast that 2 truck has been tonight. The two truck has been on rails tonight, as he's now going to get shuffled back just a little bit. The 84 truck is going to pull ahead. The 84 truck is going to pull ahead here, and the 2 of Nick Sanchez is going to be in second on that line. And the 32 of Brett Holmes, haven't talked about him. And Taylor Gray right back there in that JBL number 17 right behind the 32. As we come into lap 48, Clay Greenfield leads. Nick Sanchez second. Third is Third is Taylor Gray. Fourth is Brett Holmes. Fifth is Andres Perez. We will go. You won't miss a thing. We're going side by side. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as Clay Greenfield continues to lead. Clay Greenfield continues to lead the pack here as we got the 23 of Andres Perez. Let's take a look at what happened to Tanner Gray, Stephen Parsons, 2 of those fast trucks early. Two of those fast trucks early are now back there side by side battling. For last place is the 7 of Corey LaJoy, who had that early spin, has not been able to recover at all. As Tanner's going to get into the outside wall just a little bit. It is lap 52 here, lap 52 here at Daytona International Speedway. They're now three. They're three abreast for that second position. The 23 of Andres Perez. The 23 of Andres Perez. Haven't said his name at all tonight. Haven't said his name at all tonight. It is lap 53 now. Now lap 53. He's now up into that second spot. What happened to Nick Sanchez? He got shuffled up into that top line now. Taylor Gray up in that third spot now. Ty Majeski right behind him in fourth. We know how fast that truck's been all night. The 13 of Jake Garcia, Majeski's teammate. Haven't talked a lot about Garcia tonight in this race. That middle line is very well put together there. Those trucks are locked on to each other. Lap 54. Coming back around to lap 55, the 84 truck. 84 has had a really fast truck. If anyone's going to win this race, it will be him. If anyone would win this race off of pure speed, it would be the 84 of Clay Greenfield. Don't know how he's been able to hold off this pack so many times, but he just has the perfect techniques to do it. It is lap 56 here this time, coming back around. Back around lap 56. They're working their way around. Greenfield is the leader. Oh, we had a wreck off turn 4. Crafton hard into the inside wall, as well as Dean Thompson. Caution number 5. Big damage to Matt Crafton's truck. He is dropping the window net. This is the end of the night for the 88. Dean Thompson also taking his truck to pit lane. Thompson looks like the rear track bar is broken on that 5 truck. He's going to take his truck behind the wall. He is done for the night. Let's see what happened here. So Crafton getting a push, just gets a bit too big of a push into the 5 of Dean Thompson. Thompson in a very vulnerable position there. And then gets pushed below, and just Crafton goes hard into that inside wall. Thompson hard with that left side into the inside wall. That is what broke the track bar mount. Sent that track bar free. As here they come, this time by. Green flag is back in the air. We got a stack up on the restart. Very weird restart there, as the 23 of Andres Perez is going to get lined up. Ty Majeski is now the new leader. How about Tony Breininger? Haven't talked about her much since her early run. She fell back, and now look at her. She's back up in the front. Nick Sanchez is going to get up there. And what happened to Clay Greenfield? He is now off of it just a little. Working lap 59 here at Daytona International Speedway. Andres Perez giving a big push to the back of the 98 of Ty Majeski. Nick Sanchez is there, but he's going to get there. How about the 97 of Cody Rohrbach back from that restart stack up? He didn't get enough damage to end his night, and he's still got enough damage to be. He's still got enough of a truck to be competitive. We've just gotten word Matt Crafton and Dean Thompson have both been checked and released from the infield care center. It's nice to know. Nice to know that they are both okay. As we got a 3-truck race for the top spot now. The second in line is the 23 of Andres Perez. Cody Rohrbach, the 97 truck, is behind him. The leader is Ty Majeski in the 98. We go back a little bit here. The 33 of Lawless Allen lined up behind the 2 of Nick Sanchez. The 1 of Tony Bridinger is now going to get in line with Lawless Allen, and then Clay Greenfield, winner of Stage 2, is now going to line up behind Lawless. Got a big row of trucks here. Working now, lap 61. Working lap 61 here. So, trucks out of the race right now include Dean Thompson, Matt Crafton. Ty Majeski leads. Trucks out of the race are Dean Thompson, Matt Crafton, Timmy Hill, Daniel Dye, Keith McGee, and Tyler Ankrum. Those are all the trucks that are out of the race. Keith McGee and Tyler Ankrum, remember, they were involved in that early crash on lap 2. Now working lap 63 here at the Daytona International Speedway. As they're going to get in line, these 3 trucks have broken away from the rest of the pack. 98 of Majeski and the 23 of Enfinger. No, not the 23. The 23 of Andres Perez. That in the second entry for Rev Racing. How about Rev Racing? Both their entries had shown some speed. Andres Perez up there right now. Nick Sanchez, winner of stage number 1, led every circuit from the first caution from that lap 2 caution to the end of stage 1. From the lap 5 restart, the lap 6 restart to the end of stage 1, led every circuit. As we are now working lap 64 here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. As 4 trucks, here's Nick Sanchez coming up to join this 4-truck battle for the lead. So both Rev Racing trucks are up here, including one of the CR7 trucks we saw, Enfinger, showing speed early. Now time for his owner, Cody Rohrbach, driving the second entry tonight for CR7. This is his only planned start of the season. This is Cody's only planned start of the season. If he can find, they have the funding and money to buy a couple more trucks, they will be able to make it. Remember that CR7 team now has an alliance with MHR, so they get all the support from there. Saw Christian Eckes showed some speed tonight. It's been a tough night for MHR. 2 of their trucks out of the race. Daniel Dye with that oil leak, and Tyler Ankrum with that early crash all the way back on lap 2. As we're coming around this time, lap 66 here at Daytona. Man, these drivers, as Tony Bridinger is going to sneak down low, trying to get around Nick Sanchez, but Sanchez is going to throw a block on the 1 truck. Brett Holmes, who's had a solid night tonight, is still up there. And they are now side by side. Working lap 66, Ty Majeski leads. Cody Rohrbach in second, Andres Perez in third, Nick Sanchez in fourth, and Brett Holmes in fifth as we go to break. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedways. We have a pass for the lead here, working lap 68. 98 and 97 trucks have been battling it out here for the last couple laps. The 23 of Andres Perez just lost third to the 32. Brett Holmes has had a solid night tonight up there. Majeski's going to have the slight edge. He will lead this lap, too close to call, but I think it was Majeski who led that circuit. Lap 69 here. Remember last year, Andy Jankowiak. I remember last year, Andy Jankowiak dominated the first two stages of this race, and on lap 69 is when Andy got involved in that wreck with Johnny Sauter and Jay White. Speaking of Jay White, before he got that DUI last summer, he made one more start in the Uun Airlines Truck Series at Charlotte last season, where he brought home a very impressive third-place finish there at America's Home for Racing. Uun Airlines, speaking of Charlotte, Uun Airlines Truck Series returns to Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday, May 23rd. Cody Rohrbach has taken the lead from Ty Majeski in that 97 truck, now working lap 71. Keep in mind, speaking of upcoming races for the Uun Airlines Truck Series, next Friday, April 26th, at 8 p.m. is the Uun Airlines Friends of Jacqueline Foundation 208. Atlanta last year was a day race. This year, it will be under the lights down in Hampton, Georgia. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. The green flag drops it. The engines fire at 8. Now working lap 72 here. Brett Holmes is now caught up to the 98 of Ty Majeski. Majeski's been one of the few trucks tonight who's been ran inside the top 5 the entire night. Keep in mind, Majeski qualified second. Has shown a ton of speed tonight. As Rohrbach leads into turn 3 and 4. Take a look what's happening here mid-pack. The 99 of Ben Rhodes and the 30 of Chris Hacker. The 11 of Corey Heim also trying to form that third line up there on the top. Lap 73. We've had a relatively clean night here at Daytona International Speedway. But remember, last year was relatively clean for the first 98 laps. And then all heck broke loose in that quadruple overtime restart, as we now got a battle for the lead here, the 97 and the 98. The 98 trying to look inside the 97. Cody Rohrbach was another one of those trucks, like Clay Greenfield, qualified deep in the field. But you know what they say, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. As here they come. Oh, we got a spin off turn 4. It's Lawless Allen. Gets into the 24 of Jack Wood. Wood spins. Oh my goodness. Huge hit on the side for the 40. Huge hit to the back end of Jack Wood. Bailey Curry. Bailey Curry took a massive impact into the... We got a couple more trucks spinning in the back. Mason Massey, the 02 truck, and then Chris Hacker, 30, makes a little bit of contact in the outside wall. All right, crew chiefs. Maybe this is the time to come down and put on your final set of tires. I mean, they can run the rest of the way. If there's no overtimes, they can run the rest of the way on fuel. As here they come this time. Let's take a look at what happened here. Lawless Allen, oh, something broke on that truck maybe. And then hooks Jack. Jack makes some pretty significant contact into the outside wall. And then, bam, into the back of the 41 of Bailey Curry with big front end damage. All drivers have climbed from their trucks. Chris Hacker, Lawless Allen has climbed from his truck. Same with Lawless Allen, Jack Wood, and Bailey Curry have all climbed from their trucks. Chris Hacker has just taken his truck to the garage. Mason Massey is the only truck from this incident that will continue in the race. It's about to get wild here. As here they come, back to green. Here from the Daytona International Speedway, green flag here, lap 75. Nick Sanchez gets stuck in the middle there just a little bit, and here's Tanner Gray back in the front. From the back to the front, Tanner Gray was riding in the back just like 20 laps ago. Remember, he was back there. And now look at him back up to the front. As look, here comes the 16 of Jake Drew. Showing a ton of speed here in that 16 for Hattori. Jake will be driving that 16 for Hattori Racing full time in this 2024 season. Lap 76 here at Daytona International Speedway. As we got our stack up here at Daytona, the 51 of 52, stack up the 52 of Stuart Friesen. It's into the 9 of Grant Enfinger, got into the 30, the 23 of Andres Perez, who showed a ton of speed in that last run. Here comes Cody Rohrbach getting a nice push from the 51 of Chase Purdy, who's back up there after Purdy qualified third. Purdy qualified third in today's race. In tonight's race, but has not been up there consistently. As look, he is back up there by the looks of it. Oh, the 75 of Stephen Parsons in trouble just a little bit. It is now lap 77 here at Daytona International Speedway. 77 of 100. That will make it 34 laps to go. Yep, 34 to go. Coming back to 33 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway. 51 of Chase Purdy with the 16 of Jake Drew lined up behind him. Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski up on that top line. Tanner Gray making his way through the trioval. Cody Rohrbach leads in the 97 truck. Lap 78 here at Daytona. That top line's going to prevail. The 51 and the 16 we're not strong enough to hold it on there on that inside line. As now the most of the field has migrated up into that middle line. The 51 of Chase Purdy is still stuck. As you see the field, this front pack is most likely gonna rocket past him. Lap 79. It is now 79 here at Daytona. Lap 79. Cody Rohrbach leads, Tanner Gray in second, Ty Majeski third, Jake Drew fourth, Chase Purdy fifth. You won't miss a thing. This will be our final green flag break of the race. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, where we have 20 laps to go. Coming back to 19 laps to go. 3 trucks out front here. The 97 of Cody Rohrbaugh continues to lead. This 15 of Tanner Gray, and the 51 of Chase Purdy has rebounded nicely after being stuck in that bottom line. What happened to Nick Sanchez? He is all the way up in that third line now with the 32 of Brett Holmes. Also, Ty Majeski is slowly but surely falling back on that third line. So some trucks that have showed some speed through this shown speed through this entire race are now falling back. And we got 19 laps to go. As we got 19 laps to go. Coming back to 18 to go as Majeski gets checked up a little bit. He's now going to file into that low line with the 16 of Jake Drew. As Cody Rohrbaugh is way out front. Even with that damage. He is well out front. So we're coming back to 17 laps to go. And we got a battle here. The 51 of Chase Purdy is now going to file into line. And Majeski's Purdy is now going to get shoved through the middle. We got 17 to go. $15 of Gray. Now it's going to be side by side for third. It's going to be outside versus inside. No help on either line. How about Lane Riggs? The 38 truck is back up there. Lane Riggs, the 38 truck, is back up there after showing some speed early, falling back. He's another one of those trucks. I mentioned at the top of the show that there will be some comers and goers in tonight's race. Lane Riggs and Tony Breidinger. Lane Riggs and Tony Breidinger are two of those. Stephen Parsons is another one of those. Cody Rohrbaugh was riding in the back, and Clay Greenfield. There were some comers. Stephen Parsons is a goer, was up there early, but has since fallen back outside the top 20. Well out front here. We now got 16 laps to go here on the high banks of Daytona Beach, Florida. 97 of Cody Rohrbaugh has well dominated this third and final stage. As we come back to 15 laps to go. 15 laps to go this time by. As we now have those two lined up on the bottom, as the 38 of Lane Riggs and the 16 of Jake Drew are now on that top line trying to make a move up to the front. Tanner Gray with a problem. He just slowly dropped down to that inside bottom line. We have 14 laps to go here on the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. Cody Rohrbaugh well out front. But I'm going to more focus on the battle here since the 97 truck is well out front this battle. Speaking of the 97, his teammate, the 9 of Grant Enfinger, who was one of those comers and goers I just mentioned, now lined up second place, is now held by the 16 of Jake Drew. Jake is now lined up right behind. Right behind the 9 truck of Grant Enfinger. As we have 14 laps to go. We have 14 to go. 98 of Tymajeski has been up in the top 5 all night. Taylor Gray is now up there making a move, making a statement up there in that Tymajeski truck. Racing the Tymajeski 98 truck, excuse me. Coming back this time, 13 to go. 13 laps to go. Greenfield's now going to file into third right behind the 16 of Jake Drew, right in front of the 9 of Grant Enfinger. That top line, we've seen the middle, we've seen the second line, in my opinion, has been the most organized line all night long. As it is still very organized. The most organized line is here comes Ben Rhodes, trying to make a statement on that bottom line right behind the 17 of Taylor Gray. We have 12 laps to go. Lap 89 out of 100 here at the Daytona International Speedway. Ben Rhodes is now going to file into line right behind him. The 16, the pack is mostly calmed down for a little bit. Oh, Rhodes is going to get a shot. He's going to go into the outside wall. Still green. Keeps it going straight. Got to get to the bottom and make it back to the pit road. He does. We stay green. As the pack is kind of broken out. The pack has broken out into 2 lines. Man, this race, talked about the number of cautions in last year's race near the end. But this race is run mostly green. This race has been known for its long green flag runs and drivers pulling out way ahead of drivers pulling out way ahead of each other. As Cody Rohrbach getting some pressure here now. As we have 11 laps to go, coming back to 10 to go here at Daytona International Speedway. The 16 of Jake Drew is now going to try and force his way up into the front, to the point. Here's both CR7 trucks inside the top 3. 9 of Grant Enfinger right in front of the 84 of Clay Greenfield, as we have 10 laps to go here at Daytona. The 38 of Lane Riggs is also up there. Tymajeski is there. Ben Rhodes has taken his truck to the garage as we got Jake Drew slow on the racetrack. He's on the apron. And I thought the 16 had a chance to win it at the end, but it turns out he doesn't. As Rohrbach's only pressure has now stalled out on the bottom line. Just gets a little loose, comes close to spinning out, but then saves it, but loses a ton of track position. Obviously, as I just mentioned, 8 laps to go here at Daytona. Side by side for second, make it 1-2 for CR7. Grant Enfinger's going to power move around the outside of Tymajeski in the 98 truck. As they get stacked up just a little bit, the 9 truck, we've talked about the strength of Cody Rohrbach in this final stage. But the 9 of Grant Enfinger has been equally as strong. The 9 of Grant Enfinger has been equally as strong, as we have 7 laps to go. Lap 94 out of 100 here at Daytona. as the field is mostly double file. Mostly double file now, as we got some pushing going on in the middle. Tony Bridinger making a nice move up in the top 5. Up down there, and we got... And there she goes. Big wreck down the back straightaway. Multiple trucks scattering out of control. Chase Purdy, the 51 truck, is involved. Also involved, Taylor Gray, big damage to his number 17 machine. Taylor Gray, big damage. Chase Purdy, Jake Garcia, Ty Dillon, the 25 truck. Ty Dillon, the 25 truck. I think he might be able to continue, though. Brett Holmes, the 32, has had a great night in that 32 truck. Some damage to the left rear of that truck. Chase Purdy is done for the night. He has parked his truck and getting ready to climb out. All right, here they come to pit road. Here comes a strategy call. As Jake Drew makes the wise decision to stay out on the racetrack. Jake Drew has a fast truck, but he's choosing to stay out under this caution flag with 5 laps to go. We'll have a 4-lap shootout to decide it at Daytona. We will have a 4-lap shootout to decide it. Man, this is going to be wild. 4 laps to end it. The amount of stuff that is at stake is just unreal right now. Got trucks that are up there that are not on fresh tires. Jake Drew stayed out. Has a fast truck but lost some track position. He did this to get it. 4 laps to go. Here they come. Green flag is back out in the air. This is gonna get wild. Oh, Jake Drew's gonna get into that bottom line. Lane Riggs and Ty Majeski are now slow on that bottom line. That might end Majeski's chance of winning this. This is wild here. The 2 CR7 trucks are up there. How about Corey LaJoie involved in that lap 2 incident? Haven't talked about him since then. He is fighting up there with a chance to win it. This is gonna get wild. Coming back through the tri-oval, 3 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Get shuffled out. Cody Robog's gonna get shuffled all the way back. That does it for him. Jake Drew, the leader, down the back straightaway. Dean Thompson is out of the race. Nick Sanchez is gonna push. Nick Sanchez is gonna lock on with Corey LaJoie. Coming back to 2 to go. How about Corey Heim up there with the 9 of Grand Enfinger as well? Jake Drew trying to fight off the pack with 2 laps to go here at Daytona. If Jake Drew wants to defend off this pack, all he wants to see is the white flag. He's trying to play defense, trying to defend the 9 of Grand Enfinger. Jake Drew's probably thinking the 9's on fresher tires. But I've got a faster truck than him, so I'm going to try to defend. as the 16 and the 9 are fighting it out. Corey Heim is sitting there in third. Haven't talked about him at all tonight. As they're going to play defense. Heim, Enfinger inside. White flag is out. Uun Airlines, 1 to go from Daytona. This is going to get wild. Heim is going to get a big push to the back end of the 16 of Jake Drew. Corey LaJoy with a chance to win it. Nick Sanchez up there. Grant Enfinger. Heim's going to give a push down the back straightaway. Heim's going to give a push. Oh, and around he goes. Jake Drew. They're wrecking. Jake Drew's upside down. He's going to flip down the back straightaway. The race is over. Who was leading at the time of caution? Oh, we got a good thing Jake Drew's able to get back up on his wheels. This is going to take us back. This is going to take us a while. We need to decide who was winning, but that was a wild crash for the 16 of Jake Drew, who was in position to win. Oh, big damage. Huge damage to Nick Sanchez's truck. A spectacular final lap crash at Daytona. Jake Drew is out of the truck. And they've made it official. Corey Heim. It is Heim time at Daytona. Corey Heim wins the Uun Airlines 250 at Daytona International Speedway. Grant Enfinger is second. Take a look at what happened here. Heim was just getting a push. He was getting a push to Jake Drew, and then Jake just loses control of that truck. Spins it down the backstretch, and then just catches some air under Nick Sanchez and causes that truck to do a flip. Corey Heim, congratulations to Corey Heim. He is the winner at Daytona. We will see you next Friday out at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Declan Dunlap. This is the Uun Airlines Truck Series. See you next week.